You're listening to Martial Art Masters of Texas with your host, the voice of Texas martial arts, Master Steve Pinder.
This is Stephen Pinder from the Texas Martial Arts Hall of Fame, and I'm here in the middle of the ring with Jordan Post, damn good photographer, and we're going to talk about media in the world, not just the fight media.
Yes.
But we're going to talk about media in the world in general, because without us, 100 years from now, no one's going to know a damn thing about what happened. If it wasn't for the photographers and the recorders of history and everything that we do, and that's why we do it. So people can remember it, because if we don't take pictures of it and we don't record it, no one knows what happened. Exactly. Remember, if it's not on video, it never happened. So let me hear a little bit about your background.
Well, as you know, my name is Jordan Post, also online known as Post at Random. I started taking photos is when I realized that I really like it through the professional motocross circuit. The very first time I was able to, I actually remember the photo. It was of Jason Anderson in 2019 at Paula in California, and coming around, and when he went around, he went down through one of these ruts and pulled out real fast, and I snagged it, and I was like, yeah, this is sold. This is what I'm gonna definitely go after now. And after that, it's just been about just live action, lifestyle live action. If I could be really particular about that, is I'm trying to just master the art of lifestyle action sports photography. That way, giving it that candid look, but also extremely professional in the sense that even if it's in the dirt, you're seeing every knob, you're seeing every spoke, you're seeing absolutely everything. So it all started in motocross, and been hucking ever since, and fell in love with MMA on the way. But yeah, motocross.
Awesome. You know, the really cool thing is, you know, and for me, every time I meet new people and we start talking about, you know, things we've done, and, you know, I try not to name drop, but I start talking about, yeah, I was at this event, I was at that event, and, you know, I worked for Chuck Norris at the WCL, and they're like, yeah, bullshit. And I'm like, okay, guess where you can go and see me at ringside for the WCL? Just go online.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, yo, you want pictures of this? Well, here, this is me when I was a professional scuba diver. Oh, you want pictures of this? This is me when I was doing this.
Yeah.
I got pictures. You got pictures to say. It backs it up. So you don't have bullshitters anymore.
If you don't have a photo of you being the world's best chess player, you don't have photos of you doing something.
Yeah.
With everybody like, oh, just live in the moment. Yeah, okay, well, say that to my grandma that died of dementia. Like,
yeah.
What photos are those? You can't even show her anything because, you know, they have people that are like, oh, just live in the moment. Well, what happens when you forget that moment and then your kids or someone else has to live on with it? I don't know. I think photos are number one, the most important thing, just behind essential air.
Yeah, there you go. You know what's really cool, and you talked about dementia and Alzheimer's. You know, the families that can go back with the people in their families that are suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia, and they can be like, do you remember this? Oh, no, I don't remember. Well, here's the video, our home films. Here's the pictures of you doing this.
Exactly.
It helps them so much.
And how could it not? How could it not? What is the worst thing about being like, yo, do you remember this? Or here, hey, can you tell us about this? And like all of a sudden be able to bring up something. And I love I'm not a big fan of AI photos, obviously.
Yeah.
But I am a big fan of like them taking black and white old photos and putting them in color, or even getting them to move through AI. Even though I'm not a fan, but if it can be helpful in any situation, uh, you know, what if you have a patient and they're able to like recall a memory that was a photo, but they've been able to AI generate it and it now moves, and then they're like, yeah, no, right around that corner was Mary Jo, you know what I mean, or whatever. Like, yeah, photos number one.
Well, you know, in my field, being a graphic designer, I have a lot of subject matter that I'm like, look at all this distraction in the background. Well, here's AI, because what used to take us hours to do to remove people,
Yep.
can do it in minutes now, and that's the power of when I use AI. But if, for me personally, getting involved in the history of martial arts here in Texas, being in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
is like all we have are the people,
Yeah.
because there's
Yeah.
not a lot of film of the old stuff from the 60s and 70s. So my job was, I need to get these stories before these people were gone. And so I got the interviews with Joe Louis before he passed away. I got the
Yeah.
interviews with Skipper Mullins
Yep.
before he passed away. Bob Wall, who played O'Hara in Enter the Dragon, I got his stories.
Yeah.
Pat Burleson, these guys had all stories of
Yeah.
what you, because everybody today, they're like, oh, well, Bruce Lee did this, Bruce Lee
Yeah.
did that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, because I have the people that were there with him that'll tell the story the way it really happened. And that's why I got involved with it, because these people are getting old. And if we don't get their stories now,
Yeah.
they're gone.
So who's been? We won't say who. Give me a situation of you being like your first time you got your mind blown, being able to steal memories like that and have evidence of them. What was it like when you're like, this is the rest of my life?
Well, I got to interview a lot of people that were starting up in martial arts that are now famous, and some of them retired.
That's awesome.
I got to
That's awesome.
commentate Shane Carwin on his 6th professional fight.
That's
and
extraordinary.
I remember talking to him going, so what about the UFC?
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll get there. When I'm ready, I'll get there. I interviewed Steve Wonderboy Thompson when he was just a kickboxer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're going to scream through people in the UFC. When's it going to happen? He
Yeah.
goes, it'll happen. And what happens? He gets in the UFC and just first fight knocks him out.
I was gonna say.
So
Yep.
I have these interviews now. A lot of them are gone. Ed Daniels and Joe Louis, the first kickboxing match that ever took place.
Yeah.
You know, I have their interviews, the stories. It's this, and this is why I think it's important. These the war veterans. We don't have many left from World War II.
Yeah. Oh,
we got to get their stories.
it's
you know,
crazy because I feel the exact same way. It's not even like even being able to take a photo and then having that caption under it and being able to say what's going on in this and doing is so vital to, I think, human existence, because there's people that are changing history right now and they're only being able to change it because there hasn't been proper documentation. I'm talking like actual being able to say, hey, here it is.
Here's one for you. Why did they, and this is completely off subject.
Oh, bring it, baby. Let's walk.
Why did people stop teaching cursive writing? There's kids today that can't even read cursive writing. Well, guess what?
We failed if we didn't take
Guess what's really important that's written in cursive?
Signature.
The Declaration of Independence.
No, that was
the Constitution. And if you can't read it, you can change it.
You stop it. We're not getting on those conversations.
Oh yeah, that's a whole can of worms that we're not going to open up. But this is why things need to be recorded. Facts. This is why. Because people are changing history now because it wasn't recorded.
And it's weird because they're actually changing it. Like they're actually, and here's the thing. What if we're all wrong? What if we're all wrong? Like, then these photos are at least a memory. You know what I'm saying? Because we can be wrong about the thesis all day long. Mm-hmm. But what if, like, your memory is like, dang, like, looking at that photo, doing it, going through it, and being like, because everyone's going to remember everything differently.
Yeah.
But being able to have that, like, the people that win in this tomorrow are going to have a totally different feel than the fans that are going to have a totally different story than whoever lost, then who's going to have a different story, the person that had to put this together. Everyone's got a story, but without that physical evidence of being able to show, being able to do it, it's just like, to me, it is pointless. And like having like even social media, I don't mean to jump off and jump into my own thing.
No, please. This is about you. Okay.
One thing I think is starting to bug me is like, if you take this serious, and this is like what you want to do, anything in action sports, anything in combat sports, like a photographer is your best friend.
There you go.
It needs to be a partnership there. And not only, hey, this is our private one, but like me, I take photos at a gym that's in Austin. Well, it's North Austin, but it's called Ambush Muay Thai, and I participate there when I'm not lazy, and I take photos there.
Yep.
And like without them like in my corner, like I don't know, I wouldn't be able to get as precise. I wouldn't be able to get that laser sharp. I'm able to dial in my camera because I don't know what they're gonna pull, but I can see those hips moving. I can see those shoulders moving. I know something is coming in now. Now I can't sit there and because if I'm doing this, there's to me, like other people, their art looks amazing. But if I go, I'll do like a 3-round burst. I'll do the pre. I can see the movement about to happen. Intro, post, and bop bop bop, bop bop bop. No, because that's not to me. That's not my art. But then again, I'm not like a photographer. Somebody who can take a photo. If you say, "Hey, I need like this memory caught forever," I got that. I got that all day. But if you're saying like, "Oh, hey, I want 5,000," no, you're probably gonna get like 200 photos, and those are gonna be the ones that are gut wrenching each time. I just, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen to anybody. And if I have photos of them, I'd rather my photos represent their work than I think, people that don't take it serious. They're more about, fancy cameras. Like my camera's 20 years old. And the lights that I have, I borrow. And I don't edit with Photoshop. I only touch things up with Lightroom. If I want something heavily edited, that's when I send it in to somebody. It's obviously going to be for a gig, like or PFC or something. I'll turn it in, and then they'll do something with it. But like for me, it's all about just what are you organically getting? What are you? That's why I'm huge on filters. I'm big on lenses.
Well, I've seen your stuff, with the starlights and it's amazing stuff.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the practicality.
Yes.
Of recording something.
Yes.
Now, as soon as camcorders came around with the big VHS over your shoulder holding, I had it on a tripod in my school.
Yeah.
And my instructor could tell me I'm doing something wrong, and I can't see it. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Let's look at the tape.
Yeah.
The practicality. And think about it. Years ago, in the 60s and 70s, when all this was just starting, they didn't have a lot of that in the schools. So you had to listen to your instructor and try to figure out what he's telling you. Whereas now, the fighters, they're filming themselves in the school, and their coaches are like, see, this is what you did wrong, and you can see it here, and this is what I need you to do.
And it kills the ego.
And that's where recording stuff is extremely important.
It's funny that you work like that, because that's exactly it. I just look at it through when I run video, I'm running video because I'm trying to. There's no bad actors, only bad directors. And
that sounds like my brother.
Oh, dude,
my brother was an award-winning movie director.
Oh, really?
So, yes.
We'll talk about that after all this. But it's like, if you can take just a normal whatever, and you can make that person look like the king of the world, or the scared, petrified, whatever, man. And people don't realize practicality, practical. Just go, just don't practical effects. Reason, if you ever watch any of my videos, there's never a graphic intro. There's never a graphic outro. It's because there's my C100, there's no sound. So all that sound, we're coming through the door, all of that is my buddy and I sitting in an apartment and going, okay, you ready? Hey, I'm flanking left. All right, we'll take that, we'll put it right in.
Yeah.
Door will come open and you'll hear, all right, I'm going left. We love the art of practicality.
And like, if you don't have good sound, take the sound out and redo it. If you're
Redo
doing
it.
something wild,
Has no one ever seen El Mariachi?
do you think that they're recording the doors closed and the footsteps that are in these movies?
Yeah. How? Next time somebody questions this, tell them hop into your vehicle, roll down the windows, and then come to a sudden stop. If you can hear the birds, the telephone wire, the rambling, the ground of the the rocks, gravel. If you can hear the brakes, you can hear the piston slowing down, whatever you need to hear. If you can hear all that, awesome. If you can't, there's people that come in,
Yeah,
and that is their
the
job.
sound effects gurus. I'm telling you. You know, I have this really cool question I wanted to ask you.
Lay it on me, brother.
And, you know, it's not enough to just take photographs. And, like, yeah, I got pictures of it. It's an art form.
Yes.
Okay. Do you ever have that moment after that shot and you look at it and you're like, oh, I captured it. I captured the best way possible. I could capture that emotion of what was happening at that moment, whatever the subject matter is. You know, whether you're shooting a guy flying through the air on a bike and you get the wheels stop dead, or if you wanted something more action, you got it blurred just the way you wanted, the right lighting, the right angle, and everything. You just looked at it and you went, oh, it's almost like an orgasm.
That's a good way to put it. Before we even answer that question, give me one of yours.
I was at the Dallas Zoo and I had a chance to take some photographs of the gorillas. And I got a shot of the gorilla, the silverback in the tall grass. And you could just make out his face. Matter of fact, after this, I'll show it to you.
Yes, please.
I'll put it up on the screen for when they see this video, so you're probably seeing it right now.
Yeah.
When I captured that, I was like, oh, I got it. I captured it, and it doesn't look like it's in any zoo.
Yeah.
It looks like it's happy. It's in the wild, and he's looking at his surroundings, you know, and I got it. I love animal photography. That's one of my favorites.
Really? I don't think I've ever even tried, except for these animals.
You know, I have, we have where I go to, on my farm where I do a lot of hunting, there's two bald eagles that live there, and I was able to get some photographs of that. I haven't gotten the one I want.
Yeah. Good.
But
Good.
that makes it harder because, you know, so, but I'm going to work for it. I'm going to get it.
That. Man, I need to get some more animal shots. That'd be actually pretty good. The way that I even tune my camera in if we're outdoors is any helicopter that's going by, I just sit there and I'll just tune it in, and if I can see those propellers, I can see everything dead on, I know we're good for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
That's an outdoors event, of course, but when it comes to like that moment, the way people ask me, they're like, when do you know? Because that's where we're gonna go with this. Is when do you know a moment's a moment? It's easy. Like this, and then the second you go, that's a photo. That's a moment right there. Every moment's a moment. Every time you can blink, that's a moment. Now your job, our job, is to bring that moment to life. Every single moment that I take, every single photo that you see has made me go. All of them, because it's the rawness of it. It's going in and being like, especially when like you've already kind of seen their stuff, what they're putting out there, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna help you uppercut this through the sky. And that's my favorite, is because I actually can only go based off passion. If you talk with me first, it goes two ways. Either I'm gonna show off for you so hard, or the exact opposite. I'm not gonna have one good photo of you because now I respect what you think. now I'm lost in the vision of like what you're trying to do. Sometimes it it gets lost in translation with that, but every single photo I've ever taken, like that anyone that I've allowed other people to see, has is got a significant place with me, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, heavily.
Now I remember the first event that I was at. I think it was the Comerica Center where we met the first time.
When I
And
was
I
mad.
remember when you found out how much I love photography, you would get a shot. You'd come running over to me, Steve, look at this, look at this.
Yeah.
And at the look in your face, and I'm like, oh, he gets it. He gets it.
It's weird because everybody knows what this looks like.
Yeah.
So why are our photos and videos looking different? And it's not because of heavy editing. We're seeing it different. We're seeing it as like when I see these fighters, I don't care if you're on a dirt bike, skateboard, BMX bike, I see that 5-year-old, that 6-year-old that was in the octagon, like kind of like playing around with an uncle or whoever, and they're still there. That's still them. I mean, if you really want to get wild here for a second, next time you go home, you like pictures, you like being able to see representation. Go in front of the mirror in your bathroom, say nothing. Look at yourself, say nothing. Don't judge yourself. Don't say anything what you need to work on. Don't say anything. Take a moment and look at yourself. And then stop and go, I'm proud of you. The reason you want to do that is every moment's a moment, so you want to be able to reflect and be able to capture that. If you can do that with yourself, and you can kind of go, dang, because you remember looking at the mirror as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's the fun part about that. That's still the same little kid.
Oh yeah, and he's still a little kid.
And that our whole purpose of, I think, even being alive is to heal the inner kid in all of us. And I think photography does that, represents that really easily. Because when there's a guy in here and they win, guy, girl, whoever, they win, they conquered, they can't hide that. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. And then if they lose, you made a memory.
You're capturing. You're capturing, and this is what's important to me. You're capturing a part of their life that's important to them, and when they lose, it's still important to them.
It's still important
because you're capturing emotion. For me, when I get a good shot or I take a good video or something, it's like it's not of me.
Yeah.
But yet it is. It's got my heart in there. It's part of me.
It is you.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not in the photograph, but somehow or another, it's me.
I was always told growing up, like, stop showing off. Stop showing off. Stop showing off. And I was like, all right, Doc, I need to figure out something to do here. And so, like, that camera came into my life. And, like, my absolute, who I look up to is Robert Rodriguez, number one. Rebel Without a Crew. From going from El Mariachi on, just learning the way he does everything, looking at how he looks at everything. Like, I used to look at everything situationally and be like, oh, this thing's wrong, that's wrong, my tuning's wrong. And then I learned by watching him look at everything collectively as a body of work. It needs to get done. You know it needs to get done. So I'm like, okay, I come in here, I say, what's the objective? To make that inner kid inside every single fighter, BMX rider, skateboarder, it don't matter, band member, I want them to be able to see that. I want them to be able to feel that. Because I can tell when I got a good one, I'll go up to them. I won't go up to them. I'll go up to their family members. I'll show them. If I get that reaction, I won't even show the person, the picture up. Like, I won't even show them. I'll make them wait. Well, just so their whole family takes them out to eat, and they're like, wait till you see this.
Yeah. And their family knows you captured a part of them because it's their kids, it's their relatives, it's someone, it's a person's wife, it's a person's husband. You've captured a part of that person.
So then that goes to show that that's the objective. That's the body of work. What is your job there? To express, to help them express how amazing you truly are. If you can do that repetitively, you're cutting with lasers, you're cutting with razors, you're just doing it. And that's the body of work is, okay, here's my objective. I don't care about my tuning and my camera. I don't care at all. Let's bang it out. And then when it's time to go throw it back in the Lightroom, that's when all of a sudden I'm like, ooh. But you can't replace the intensity or the passion that somebody has. That's what's got to come number one. Number one, four.
No, we talked about Lightroom last time we were together, and how
Yes.
you'd rather have it dark than extremely light.
Yes,
And
very much so.
and for that reason is
I like that you remember that. Thank you.
oh, of course. Okay, and it's because you can do so much more with that photograph.
So much more. I can pull detail out of dark, but I cannot put detail into bright. And here I love all my photos. I did it first because of the melancholy aspect of it. Then all of a sudden I realized like bringing all these vibrant looks out, the detail would only get like more crisp. And you're like, dang. Yeah, always shoot dark. Always shoot dark and bring it up. Don't overexpose anything because you don't know what this is going to be used for. And if it's going to be used for any of these fighters 20 years later, don't you want your stuff to be like, a little cinematic?
Yeah.
How did you, what is like your, how do I ask this question? I've never asked. What is your favorite type of, I'll go first and then I want yours. So that way you know what I'm saying. I was thinking about this when you were gone. And I was like, dang, man, like I can't, it's not that I can't, I won't focus on that. I'm trying to relay what I'm trying to say is, I love, when you open a VHS, when you get a VHS and you flip it over, that style is mine. That's my style.
Mm-hmm.
I just want cinematic, movie set photos of everybody living their life. What is yours?
Oh, that's a tough one. Now, what I'm hearing is you're talking cinematic.
Yes. I feel like that's how they look. You know what I mean? To me.
Here's what I like. And you know the old, we'll say 70s and 80s movies.
Yes.
There was something nostalgic about the cinematography in it.
Yes.
And when HD, 4K, and all that stuff came,
Ruined it.
Ruined. Thank you. Oh my God! I can't believe you
ruined it.
agree with me.
It's too clear.
Thank you.
Film. That's why when
That
Quentin
little
Tarantino
that little grain. I love putting grain in my photographs.
That's why Quentin Tarantino took the actual cameras from filming Ben-Hur, the movie, and he went and said, hey, I want those panoramic. Like, I want those. Then he made Hateful Eight, and he used those, the actual ones that filmed Ben-Hur. What do you do with that? That is absolutely extraordinary.
I'm sorry. Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorites because he thinks outside the box.
He realized there is no box.
Exactly.
There's
no
box.
limitations.
And he got out of Loserville.
You know, and my getting back to my brother, huge influence with me. He taught me how to edit video and how to make it work.
What was the first system you learned on?
iPhoto, not the
iMovie?
iMovie.
That's amazing. My pop dropped me into Premiere. So I went from Adobe Premiere and then Premiere Pro or whatever, and then I worked for a news station and had to use Speed Edit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love using iMovie because it makes everyone go. It takes your excuse away.
Okay, well, and thank you for saying that. And I'm going to say this: a lot of people, and this is the downfall with movies today, they are so heavy into CGI that they forget what actually makes a movie good. Like let's take Avatar.
Okay.
All it is dances with wolves on another planet.
Yes.
Okay, that's all it is. But I mean, where it's this larger than life kind of thing, but it lost something. Unless you see it in 3D, it just doesn't look right. It looks like you're playing a video game.
It's so fun. Do you know who ruined? You want to know who ruined movies? Are you ready?
Yeah.
And I'll give my example. The man who ruined cinema for all of us, the way that we see it, is Robert Rodriguez.
Say it again?
Robert Rodriguez ruined cinema.
Okay. I want to know the reasons why.
That's my favorite director.
Yeah.
That's my filmmaker. One day I was sitting there, and I was like, I am so tired of these 3D movies. Spy Kids. He brought the green screen format alive. He did it with Sin City, and he did it with Spy Kids. It those 2 movies weren't made, the rest of the corporate artists, corporation artists, the one who have 50 directors sitting in a room, they couldn't hold a flame to what he was able to do. So what they do, they mimic, because that's the only thing you can do after that.
This is why the first 3 Star Wars movies are the best.
Practical effects.
It left so much for your imagination.
Yeah.
It's like the old Flash Gordon when the spaceship was hanging on a string and you could see the wires.
Yes, yes. I like to know I'm watching a film. Like a film. Like I like to know it's a play. That's why I love sitcoms. According to Jim, Yes Dear, like I love those because it's art.
If you have a good script, you don't need CGI. Breakfast Club.
Oh gosh, yes.
Filmed in 2 rooms.
9 to 5.
So it's funny because when, like right now, I'm not shooting in 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? I just, and I don't shoot any commentary or anything like that in high def. And I'm like, last thing you want to see is me in high def.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want it. But the things that I've shot, now I did videos for my company because, I work in automobile advertising, and I did videos for my company. And all I did was take what my brother taught me and the correct angles to shoot certain scenes, the correct lighting, and the correct editing. No special effects, no nothing.
Just get your point
And I had
across.
people that worked at News Network looked at that and go, "Oh my God, who taught you?" And I'm like, my brother.
Exactly. Dude.
God rest his soul. He's not with us anymore, but oh my God. He had 2 short films that won awards. I'll send them to you so you can see them. And he taught me everything that I know about taking what's out there. He goes, "Steve, you could take the most simple subject and make a story about it if you know how to shoot your angles correctly."
You want to make them look bigger and bigger than life? Where's your camera placed? You want them to feel alone in a room? Where's your camera placed? You want them to feel like they're going on an adventure, like they have this. Where's the camera? All of these camera angles have a purpose. And I think it's crazy because people come in and they're like, "Oh, I have the state-of-the-art equipment. Now I can film." And you're like, "Bro, like, what? Like, you have the what?" Like, the only disagreement I have with I will never tell an artist anything. I really don't like when photographers all group together and take photos together at like events. I don't like when there's like 15 of them all together, and I don't like that they all stand at their own height. I feel like I can look at their photo and be like, "Oh, this guy was 5'9". This guy was 6'2".
When I see you in here, what are you doing with these fighters after the fight? You are sometimes laying down.
Dang, there's no blood on this mat?
No.
You better believe it.
I see. I see that. I'm like, there he is getting the right shot.
It's because it's like, that's your superhero. That's your, you know what I mean? Like,
position. Who is the aggressive? A man that, and I know you're going to know the name, a man that put himself in harm's way in the early 1900s. I mean, risked his life to get the ultimate shots. Ansel Adams.
Oh, yes, hands down.
I mean, do you realize the risk that man took to get the shot?
Yeah. There's so many amazing visionaries. Stanley Kubrick is the one that made me like not get mad when other people started trying to film, because he even said, "Hey, I won't be happy until like every little fat girl can have a camcorder and making movies. That's when it's going to be fair."
If you have an iPhone, which we're filming this on an iPhone, if you have an iPhone, you can make a movie.
You can make a movie.
And it doesn't have to be anything other than, it could be the you know what? I made a short film on a dung beetle pushing a turd. I loved it. I'm like, oh my God, I've seen them all the time, these wildlife photographers. Yeah. And I'm like, I actually have one on the farm, and I followed it on my hands and knees.
Just getting it.
Just every aspect. And I remember learning about how they climb up on top of them to see where they're going, and then they'll go back and they'll push it in that direction. And how they'll work around things. I got that all on film. And I'm like, oh my God, I captured something. I captured something that I've only seen on TV.
Yeah. So what about the people that are like, I have no actors?
Oh my God. We have reality TV.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I say there's no actors, but I've been on a reality show. Trust me,
They're actors.
they're scripting it. They're saying, hey, we need you to do this, we need you to do that.
Shoot, that happens everywhere. You know what I mean? We act like,
But you could follow a guy in the woods hiking.
Yeah. Make that thing look crazy.
And make it like, oh my God, that's amazing.
You know, that's why.
Make it interesting.
Yes.
You know?
That's what made me push photography, is because I didn't have an actor. I didn't have anything. And I was like, you know what? I have people walking around downtown. I have people walking around, like, do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest regret, like, I wasn't into photography heavily, but when I went to Africa, I, like, always thought, like, dang. Like, I have little videos off my Android, that HTC Android, when I was on Metro PCS, whatever it was. And I was out in Africa, like, it's like pixelated the whole way, but man, I went off totally off.
No, dude. This is important stuff. I mean,
it's passion. Everything is passion.
You know, we were driving here, and we're going through all these little towns as we're getting into Amarillo. Of course, we're out in the middle of nowhere. And I said, look at this old town. Imagine the stories. I said, and I'm looking, I'm like, there it is. There's the hole-in-the-wall little diner.
Yeah.
I said, I guarantee you, if you walk into that diner and you find a guy that's in his 70s or 80s, you will get stories about this town that you could make a movie about.
There's one restaurant. I don't know if you know, well, I don't even know why I'm bringing it up, but it's the very first restaurant. I believe it's in Massachusetts, which would make sense because I don't think that's where we came in. I think we came in through Prince de Leon, or Ponce de Leon, over by the Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine, Florida, and then came up. But
well, I know that my family came over 25, 30 years after the Mayflower and said, it's too cold, and they moved to Florida.
That's so funny. You said that. I don't know what it is about that little pocket up there. That it's not only cold, but everyone's so mean. It's like that little spot in Massachusetts, and like right around there.
Well, that area is where I grew up. Now I'm from Rhode Island. I lived there for 30-something years before I moved. I went out to Reno and then for a year. Then I came here to Texas. Been here for 25 years. But I was a commercial diver, and that's how I worked my way through college. And I ended up being a school teacher up there. But the stories, I mean, just being on the water every morning. And I used to think, if I only had my dad's camcorder, every day, what it's like to work on a boat.
Yeah.
And going out there and spending 4 hours underwater. And I got into underwater photography. And, oh, yeah. I had a Nikon system with a sub-strobe on it.
That's so funny. I went the total opposite. I was taking pictures of welding.
That's kind of cool.
I
like welding.
So cool. It's so cool.
You ever do an arc welder in slow motion?
Not filming wise.
Yeah.
But like, I've worked for some really, really cool welders, fabricators, and cool. There's some that like you don't get a second chance. Like what we get is the metal. Like when they're pressing stuff, big machines. It's literally what you're about to see is the take, because this metal gets too hot. We're way too hot in this room. It's a one press thing and it's got to go.
I have a story on the ocean. Now, I've been in the water with all kinds of stuff. And back in '93, late in the season, there's we get a lot of the warmer waters come in.
Yeah.
That current all changes, and we get a lot of unusual things in the water. Tropical fish sometimes in Rhode Island. And what I saw it was tangled in my dive line. Was a 5-foot sand tiger.
Wow.
And I'm for divers would understand, I'm at about 35, 40 feet. And I'm like, well, I can't clip off my line because I got a 6-knot current. We just came off a moon rib.
Yeah.
6-knot current. It would have just blown me away. I had 60 pounds of lead holding me on the bottom. And I'm like, I'm going to have to untangle this thing.
Yeah.
So I tried to untangle it because it's yanking me around the dive line. And as soon as I got untangled, what do you think happened?
Tell me,
baby. He hit me. He rammed me and tried to bite me. So he tore apart my vest, my BC, and never got his teeth in me. Couldn't get it through the lead weights that were around my waist. But guess what I did?
I would have made him a pair of boots.
I got up to the boat. My dive partner's in the boat, and he's got this look on his face like I'm torn apart.
Yeah.
My vest and everything. So I go and I immediately just run over, and I grab my spare vest and another tank and my camera, and poof. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I got to get a picture of it."
Yeah. Do you ever?
But can you believe that?
Oh, no.
I have to get a picture of the very rare shark in that area.
So that's exactly my next question. Is there something that's just like that shark that you've been like, I don't even want my camera. This one's for me. This moment's for me.
Yep. I have an experience.
Tell me.
Okay. I was hunting with my friend Scott from the Hall of Fame, and we were varmint hunting. We were coyote hunting. Last light. We were waiting for the sun to go down, and we're sitting there, and I'm looking over to my right, and I could see something moving. Scott's like, there was a bobcat 10 feet away from you, and he's playing peekaboo with you. He'd stick his head up, and every time I would turn, he would duck his head down, and I'd miss him. He was like within 10 feet of me.
Yeah.
And I never saw it, but I knew something was there.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, that sun went down, and this fog came in, and the moon hit the fog and made it purplish blue.
That's awesome.
And we're just sitting there, and all of a sudden, all the coyotes sounded off. We're covered in fog, and they're all around us. We counted. We're listening to where they are. There's about 5 or 6 of them, a good-sized pack. And we just put our rifles down, and we sat there and we watched. We had cameras on.
Yeah.
We sat there and watched them. We could see the silhouettes through the moonlight of them chasing the jackrabbits through the fog. And we just sat there and we said, this is for us and no one else.
That's it.
And this is like a gift from God to just sit there and watch this.
And then guess what? Someone gets dementia, and then no one remembers it, and then it's gone forever, and then we don't have photos.
But here's the cool thing. I told this story for the first time on tape. The first time I've ever told that story on tape, so now it's around forever. People will remember me talking about that. But we sat down after, and I'm like, oh, thank you, God. That was, what a gift. That was just, what an experience.
Yeah.
Because you can feel it. Like, this was for us. God wanted to give us a show.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that was one of those things where we didn't want to take a picture. We didn't try to take our cameras out or anything. No. It was just one of those things where, like, wow. It's funny you asked that question because that's the first one that came to mind. And I told Scott, I said, if I go before you, that's where I want my ashes spread, because that was a moment that I will never forget.
Since we're talking about death, you know I don't know what I want. Well, I want to get cremated, but then I want to get pressured into a diamond.
Oh, really?
That way someone could put me like on the ring. And something, something amazing. I don't know. I just think it'd be super cool to become a diamond. More than I am.
You're like the first person I talk to that gets this, and when I realized you got this whole thing about what we're doing, I'm like, that's when I said, well, we got to do this. We got to do this.
Oh yeah.
So what I'm hoping to do, and what they'll probably see right now in the video, is I want you to send me some of your photographs that I can put in this so people can see where your heart is where your passion is.
I would love that.
And man, I so thank you for doing this interview, dude. I wanted to do this for months now.
Hopefully this is one of very many, and hopefully we can do it in a different spot than when we are both working, because camera is one heavily working man right here. Every time him and I run to each other, we're working. There's something that's got to get done.
Yeah.
I'm just drawing on the mat right now.
Sharpie time.
Arts and crafts.
Dude, you got art on your hands.
Yeah. This is...
Well, thank you, everybody. I know this isn't the normal thing that we do for the Martial Arts Hall of Fame, but this is a necessary thing, because now you understand why we do this. Why we have such a passion for recording a history that's going to be lost unless we record it. No, I mean, years from now, no one's going to remember these events unless it's on tape, and now it's on tape. It's photographed. All those things that you don't see when you're on the pay-per-view, this guy captures right here.
Well, then if that's the case, if you guys are ever into art, you ever take photos, you ever take video, do yourself a favor, post at random, so that way no one knows when you're coming. And if nothing else makes sense, add this to it.
There you go. Thank you so much for watching this, guys.
Peace out. Time to work.
Yep.